You ever find yourself at a party you never planned to attend, in a suit that feels 2 sizes too tight, wondering how the heck you ended up there, only to have your whole idea of loneliness, kindness, and second chances flipped upside down in one wild, unexpected night? Yeah, that was me. My name's Daniel Miller. I teach English to high schoolers who think Shakespeare is just a brand of sparkling water. I'm a single dad to the only human who's ever made me feel like a superhero. Lily. My 8-year-old tornado of questions and glitter. I was only at that wedding because my buddy Tom got the flu. Sometimes fate puts you in a room full of strangers just to see if you're paying attention. You know what I mean? The place was unreal. Some vineyard an hour out of the city, strung up with lanterns, soft jazz playing somewhere in the background. Couples gliding across the floor like they do in those cheesy Hallmark movies. I hovered by the bar with my club soda, scrolling through texts from Lily about what toppings she should put on her Saturday pancakes. Truth is, crowds aren't my thing since my wife passed. I learned to fade out. Play the ghost at these things. No pity, please, just the facts. Life has a way of teaching you to settle into your own quiet corners. But then she walked in. I know, cliché. But trust me, she made an entrance like she was dropped in from another decade. Burgundy dress, those classic curls, but her eyes? Those eyes were looking for an escape, scanning for the nearest emergency exit. She slipped in unnoticed by everyone except me, grabbed a flute of champagne, and looked so perfectly out of place, I almost laughed. A few minutes later, this tall guy in a navy suit approached her. Something about the tension in his shoulders set me on edge. She stiffened, jaw clenched. Even from a distance, you could feel the history buzzing between them. Just as I'm thinking maybe it's time to make an Irish exit, she suddenly locks eyes with me, of all people, and crosses the floor like she's heading into battle. Hi, she says, a little breathless. I know this is weird, but would you dance with me? Like, right now, just before he sees. I blink, actually check over my shoulder to make sure she's talking to me. But before I can even answer, she slips her hand into mine. You're not here with anyone, right? I just need a minute. Please. What do you do? I nodded, heart thumping. Let her pull me onto the floor. You gotta love a wedding for its awkward surprises. She doesn't look at me for the first song, just kind of stares at the wall over my shoulder, her fingers gripping mine like a lifeline. I whisper, you okay? She manages a yeah, then a softer, no, not really, out of the corner of my eye. The guy in the navy suit is watching us, arms crossed, jaw tight. That's my ex, she finally says, voice barely above the music. 6 months ago, he cheated. Showed up here with someone new. Like nothing ever happened. Her laugh is brittle, but real. I didn't come here to make a scene. I just didn't want him to think I'd break down and cry. She glances at me, the ghost of a smile on her lips. So, I grabbed the safest-looking guy in the room. I gotta admit, that stung a little, but there was something in her voice, relief, maybe? That made me want to keep holding on. I tell her, you picked right. I'm a pro at flying under the radar. She actually laughs this time. And we just sort of glide along as the music shifts into a Sinatra cover. Suddenly, it feels less like an escape and more like the world pressing pause for just a minute. We dance through 2 more songs, share quick stories. Her name's Clara. She burns garlic bread religiously, loves black and white movies. I tell her about Lily's dinosaur obsession and how I once ruined a field trip by getting locked in a school bus bathroom. The ex? He melts away into the crowd. For a second, it's just the 2 of us. Nobody watching, nobody judging. I ask her what she's really looking for tonight. She says, just not to feel invisible for once. That one hits me hard. I know that feeling better than I'd like to admit. The rest of the night passes in a blur. At the end, I walk her to her car. She hesitates, then leans in and kisses my cheek. Thank you for seeing me, Daniel. No number, no last name. She slides into her car and disappears into the night. Most people would call that the end. But you ever get the sense life's got more chapters than you can read at once? The next morning, I'm back to dad mode, pouring cereal, bargaining with Lily over hairbrushing. But my mind keeps looping back to Clara and that moment on the dance floor. I almost text Tom to get her info from the bride, but stop myself. Some memories are just supposed to stay pure, right? Still, I catch myself hoping. 3 weeks drift by. I'm at the school's family reading night. Lily sporting her author glasses and explaining the plot of Danny and the dinosaur to anyone who'll listen. I hear Lily whisper, Dad, look, Her dress is like a raspberry. I turn, and there's Clara, frozen in place, looking at me like she's seen a ghost. Clara, I manage, probably way too loudly. She laughs, relaxing. Daniel. Lily tugs my arm. You know her. Clara kneels, all in. And suddenly she and Lily are best friends talking about dinosaurs. Twist of fate. Clara just got hired by the district to run their mental health outreach. Reading night's her first day. For an hour. We talk while Lily draws us as superheroes. Turns out, Clara's not running anymore. She's here to stay. Over the next few weeks, we keep bumping into each other. School events, coffee runs. The usual small-town orbit. Eventually, casual turns into real. Lily adores her. One Friday after Lily's school play, Clara brings cookies and Lily, mouth full, asks, Dad, can we keep her? Clara cracks up, and for the first time in a long time, the three of us feel like a team. One chilly evening, after Lily's asleep, Clara and I sit on my porch, tea in hand, knees pulled to her chest. She looks at me, eyes softer now. You know, I didn't grab your hand that night just to get away from him. I grabbed it because you looked like you understood what it's like, feeling alone in a room full of people. I nod, words sticking in my throat. You didn't pretend with me, I tell her. You were just real. She takes my hand. No drama, just quiet understanding. That's how it happens, right? Not with fireworks, but with honest company. Spring rolls in, and one night. I'm cooking pasta while Lily paints in the living room. Clara walks in barefoot, humming Sinatra. Remember this song? She asks. She smiles and I set down the spoon, pull her close. And we dance, slow, no audience, just us. Somewhere between weekends of building blanket forts, helping Lily pick out glasses, and crashing a few more weddings together, we stop being strangers. People ask how we met. Clara always grins. He was just a guest, until I dragged him onto the dance floor. But the real story, well, that belongs to us. One rainy day, I find a note in my jacket. Lily's handwriting all loopy and chaotic. Dad, I like how you laugh more now. I like that Clara makes pancakes with chocolate chips. I think Mom would be happy you're not sad anymore. I read it 3 times. That night, Clara reads it too, and just hugs me. No words needed. A few weeks later, another wedding. This time, Clara catches the bouquet on purpose, and Lily giggles so hard she snorts juice out her nose. On the way home, Clara leans against me, whispering, You know what I love about weddings now? I say, What's that? She says, They remind me that second chances aren't perfect. They're awkward and messy and sometimes start with a borrowed dance. I laugh. Yeah, that happened. Later, as Lily sleeps, Clara leans on my shoulder and whispers, You saved me that night. I look at her, really look, and say, You saved me too. Took me longer to admit it. So, maybe that's the truth most people miss. Love doesn't come roaring in with confetti and spotlights. It comes in quiet, with small acts of courage, a hand outstretched not for romance, but for rescue. Sometimes all it takes is one dance to change everything. And sometimes, it's the people who weren't even supposed to be there who end up meaning the most. But hey, let's be real. Was it luck, fate, or just 2 tired souls finally brave enough to say yes to the mess? You tell me, do you believe in second chances? In the power of a little kindness, even when your own heart's still healing? I want to hear your story. Drop your thoughts below. Who knows, maybe someone else out there needs that same little push to take a chance.